Shalom, shalom. Alright, let's get on. First and foremost, I want to say Kalayam Yahal Bashim Yahushai Bashim Ha Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do rule and teach well, and honors to the brothers out there, right, of Great Millstone, pushing this truth with 100% sincerity, as well as shalom to all the brothers out there, participating in ministry as a whole, whether by giving alms, so on and so forth. Taz upon the checking in. We're just gonna do another video. Uh, gotta keep coming out with these videos, man. So we're just gonna keep continuing on with the topic from yesterday. When it comes to like making videos, they don't have to be like a different one every day. You can just take a topic and you can, go into it a couple days and just bring different scriptures and stuff, of course. So this is the book of Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge, right? So we know what foolish means. Sottish means silly, sottish, fool, old English, stuff like that. All right. They have none understanding. All right. Why? Because they were blinded. Like it says in, I think it might be Romans 11, right? The elect have attained it, but the rest were blinded, right? They're blind to this truth. They don't want to understand, right? And, they not going to make it on this side, man. My brothers constantly going to the kingdom starts with us coming together. One like mind, northern and southern kingdom, right? It's just going to be fully manifested when the chariots come down, and the Lord will be in that number. Bros get beamed up, all right, being them chariots, you know what I mean? And the elect are saved, and pretty much wait out for the radiation to clear up a little. Then we'll go down, and thus begins the conquest. All right, bringing these nations back to our land first to build it. So on and so forth. Right. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Yes, Jake is very wise to do evil. Okay, when it comes to fucking people over, right, commit adultery, right, all these crimes, setting dudes up, like these girls out here, man. You gotta be careful with some of them because they began with dudes and be setting them up to get robbed and shit. They get beat up, you know. Um, you know, shit like that happens. You might be meeting a chick thinking, she alright. You go to her project, 10 to 15 dudes waiting for you, and they gonna kick your ass and take all your shit. You know what I mean? Yes, you gotta be careful. I mean, it hasn't happened to me, but I know of a person that should happen to, right? So it's fucked up. Yeah. So second Esdras, we're gonna go to second Esdras, chapter 8, verse 55. Let's see here. When we read up ahead, yeah, it's talking about something else. Yeah, we'll just go on down. When you read second Esdras, it's really just a series of questions. Ezra is basically asking to the Archangel Uriel, even though that's not the whole book. I think one of them, it goes into this really like this allegory. It's I think about like 100 something verses long, but it goes into like an allegory of Jerusalem and things like that. But certain things already happen when you read Ezra, and certain things have yet to happen. Like if you read it, it might be second Ezra, I want to say 11, maybe like 10 and 11, and it goes to the eagle. That's talking about Rome Haven't gone into that one in a minute, but yeah, that one's talking about Rome. All right, so this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 8, and verse 55. Therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish, right? Because their judgment is gonna happen, right? So, um, verse 56. Not to say that we can't talk about it and like make videos about it, or warn our people about it. All right, it's just Fezra and things like that. All right, and that's not the only thing we talk about as well. We also speak of the elect. All right, we also speak of the elect being saved, um, and so on and so forth. Speaking on prophecy, and that's why brothers always say that. From the elders and apostles on down, these other camps, they're really not deep like that. They'll maybe talk about a little bit of stuff here and there, but they don't really get into prophecy. They really just talk about how to raise families and shit, like how to get a wife. Like, if I want to learn how to get a wife, all right, I could do that on my own time. You know what I mean? Or you could just ask people for advice or whatever. But when it comes to shit like I want to get saved, I want salvation because I don't want to get nuked here and fucking like get burnt alive. Not to speak light of it, but literally getting burned alive by fucking nuclear radiation, the type shit. Okay, I don't think it's the same way in a microwave, but yeah, like the type like it's just horrifying. All right, the idea is horrifying. Right, if you don't want, I don't want that to happen to me. How do I get saved? Right, so I want to hear about prophecies. I want to hear about the real stuff. Right, and when it comes to history, I want to learn the real history. I want to learn what happened. Right, why are people like this? Right, and so on and so forth. I don't want to learn about these guys talking about raising families and shit. We'll raise families in the kingdom. All right, verse 56. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Yeah, and that's a time now. They had that liberty, and they despised, um, you know, the law, right? Forsook the ways, right? You know, yeah. So moving on, right? I just wanted to check something real quick. Second is 857. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, right? Like they were doing before the Babylonian takeover. It's also the same now. All right. They make fun of us. They mock us continually. Call us names. So on and so forth. And they didn't take heed unto the prophets. All right. They just straight up ignore them. All right. But I think some of them. I know Jeremiah. If I'm correct, I don't know. I think he might be before the Syrians and also before the Babylonians, but that's another topic for another day. But he was put in jail. All right, they straight up locked him up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in these times, they make fun of us. They call us all kinds of names. They create false allegations and spread it all over the internet. You know, they make troll videos. You know, and shit like that. You know, and now, as I said like a couple weeks ago, it's even spread to Instagram. You'll be scrolling through reels, doom scrolling, and now they'll be talking about Israelites and stuff like that. And, oh, the black Hebrew Israelites, and they'll make jokes and make fun of us and stuff like that. Even though we're not black Hebrew Israelites, we're just Hebrew Israelites, right? Because not all Israelites are quote unquote black. Uh, it's another top for another day. But you got the Northern Kingdom just to keep on that basic level, but you also got Israelite foreigners as well. So verse 58, and said in their heart there is no most high, yea, that knowing they must die. All right, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna let that be that. Yeah, that's what they say. There's no power. They must die. They're just doing their own thing. You know, some jigs don't even believe in the Most High. They just believe in getting money, believe in the universe. You got a lot of. I've been hearing that a lot. You know, Jake talking about they believe in the universe and shit like that. We'll let there be that. Though I need to find this. Shalom.